Hi, Will here, and this is a video about Dead Nation on the PS4. It's a top-down shooter, zombie horde game. It has a couple cool little features. It does remind me a lot of Hunter the Reckoning, an old PS2 game, I think it is. And got a couple upgrades. It doesn't go quite as in-depth as the RPG as what the Hunter the Reckoning did. It's a little bit more shooter. Basically you collect money, you kill zombies, you blow up a lot of shit, and basically just have a lot of fun. It is co-op, you can even do it online. I didn't play it in co-op a lot. I used to play this game quite a bit when it first came out. I haven't played it in quite some time, just thought I'd do a video on it. The main weapon in this game has unlimited ammo, the rifle. I would strongly suggest a new player to upgrade it first, getting some of the damage perks, and the clip right up, and the rate of fire. This gun you can pretty much use right through the game. It has a pretty cool move, as you could just see, where you can hold down the fire button and it does like a charge shot. It'll take the heads off most normal zombies and will take down some of the stronger zombies in just a couple of shots if you charge it up. Has quite a lot of cool environmental effects. As you saw the car, you can shoot it, the alarm goes off, attracts zombies to it. You can shoot it some more and make it explode, or just the zombies attacking the car will get it to explode. Each mission is actually quite long. This first one is, get to the local gas station, and each mission is broken up into several sections. This first one is quite short. The first mission is somewhat of a tutorial. It has an armor and a weapon shop. You find armor pieces in the bigger chests, and basically they change your stats to strength, endurance and agility. I generally like to pack in the endurance and agility once I've got a few more items. I don't have a lot of items to put on here, so see, I make the best with what I've got, and then I continue on. And so that's about as good as I can go, stacking agility and endurance. Now, each weapon in the game has several upgrade slots. As I said, with the rifle, you got the rate of fire, power, and the clip size. You pretty much want to max this one out first. Now, you don't have to buy the SMG here. I'd forgotten about that, but you do actually just pick it up in the world later on, so it was kind of a waste of 10,000 there. Doesn't really matter too much though. This money isn't that hard to come by. When you open up the door to go into the next section, it gives you a free full health. So as long as you make it into the safe zone there, you're pretty right. Each area is made up of several little parts. Generally it has a little bit of a street, sometimes a maze of some kind, and then you'll see that you'll get into a section where it'll block you in and you get hoarded out. You got to fight off a few waves and sometimes a boss zombie. There are quite a lot of different types of zombies in this game. You see, you can loot the cars for money. And there are quite a lot of little side sneaky areas that you can go up under roofs and things and get chests for new armor pieces and so on. It is worthwhile finding those. The better your armor suit, the better you can play. Obviously agility is quite important. The faster you can strafe and run and move, the more you'll survive. I find endurance quite important as well. Armor has its place, but it's definitely the stat I go for last when I'm playing this game. Again, with the shop, just going to keep focusing on that initial rifle. It is your bread and butter gun. You'll use it the most through the whole game. That snipe mode comes in quite handy. And popping their heads never gets old. They stand there with blood pouring out of them. Zombies will drop the occasional item, as you saw that green box that just dropped there in the ground. We're going to loot a few things, and we'll come back to that in a second. Just chucked a mine out there. Similar to the cars, they emit a noise and make zombies run towards them, then they explode. The mines, you can upgrade them so that they'll have several explosions. They'll make that little noise, they'll explode, and then they'll make a bit more noise and explode again if anything comes near it, and for however many charges you have. They are an extremely good item. See, sometimes those little packs that they drop, if you're full health, just give you money. If you have health missing, they give you some health back. So it's pretty cool that they're still useful even if you are full. You can just kick them and take the money instead. Then when you open the door, the horde comes out. One of the changes I've noticed is that they generally try and hit you from both sides with a lot of these, whereas they didn't used to. It used to always come from one direction. Now as you move through the game, the little hordes that come out, they'll have a bit of a horde come out from behind you as well. It did surprise me a few times. Once I got used to it, it was not much of a problem. I've always found the SMG in this game to be a little bit underpowered until you really jack it right out. It's barely worth using. I'm just having a bit of a look around, see if there's any sideways that we can go, and there's a little street down here. We'll take care of those. One thing I learned with this game is don't be scared to backpedal and just keep going back and shooting. While it does have melee, it's not as advanced as some of the other top-down zombie games like Hunter and such, where it has well-developed melee moves and such that you can do. It's just got a basic gun smash and really doesn't do very well for controlling mobs. So got another piece of armor there, the armor shell. I could have got an extra bit of endurance there, but I would have lost an agility. I don't like to be running slow. This game you really need to be moving quickly. Getting the clip size quite strong, and same with the power. Once you are max level on the rifle, normal Zeds die with one shot all the time. As you can see here, there was quite a big horde that came through the door. The rifle just cleaned them all up. Game's quite dark using the torch to see. I find you get a little bit hard to see the mobs sometimes, particularly in this first few missions. It does get better. There's some of the later missions are not quite as dark, but definitely in these first ones, some of the mobs can be quite difficult to see with their colouring against the background. This is where you pick up the SMG, and it teaches you how to use it. So, as I said earlier, wasn't much point in buying the SMG, but it doesn't really matter too much. Money isn't too big of an issue in this game. You can rerun missions and collect more money and so on if you need to. You see, using the cars to explode is a very useful technique. Actually do it quite a lot. The ones that have the flashing red lights have an alarm, so if you shoot them, they'll basically attract the zombies, like they have just there. If you're going to use them as an explosive though, make sure you go and get the loot out of the boot of the car, otherwise you won't get any money for that particular vehicle when it explodes, as it destroys any of the loot that was in it. I really like the variety in the way that the zombies are dressed. See little cheerleaders and policemen and soldiers and criminals in their little jumpsuits. So quite well done. Sometimes I like to just pop some of the zombies on the side there. They all give you extra money, so they're definitely worthwhile. This is a horde situation. When you come out of here, the horde comes in waves. There's lots of vehicles here that you can use, and which I do to gather the mobs and then explode them. I tried to loot as many boots as I could before I started actually using them. As you can see, even though there's a lot of zombies coming out, if you use those vehicles, it's quite easy to basically just keep them in a series of traps. And that's the end of the first mission. When you get to that funny little plate there, basically that's the end of it, and you get assessed on how you did. And hope you enjoyed the video.